Another episode of Nitara's Love Notes. Yes, we are here with the infamous, the also talented Miss Goo Atkins.
Thank you. Hello.
It is a pleasure and an honor to interview you today. Thank you for allowing us to interview you.
You are very welcome.
So let's get this pop locking. All right, so my first question is, when did you know that you wanted to be a stylist?
Well, I said earlier today when I was speaking on a panel, I never said that I wanted to be a stylist. I came to a point where there were no gigs, and people had admired my style and said I should be a stylist. But growing up, I never knew that that was even a job. Mm-hmm. I thought that when you were rich enough to go to the fine stores and buy clothes, you wanted to do that. I didn't know that people have to get dressed and be top notch, 2, 3, 4 times a week, and then after that, it's not fun. You get what I mean? Especially if you don't have that gift of styling or the time to do that. So anyway, I didn't grow up wanting to be a stylist because, like I said, I didn't know it existed. And then even when I went to the first person that I styled and told them I was a stylist, I only did it because I needed some work. But even then, it wasn't like, oh, I want a career, in fashion. But I will say that I've always had an interest in fashion. I grew up being a plus-size little girl, and there weren't very many options. So I would draw pictures of clothes that I wanted to wear. And there was a guy who was a local designer at the time, but now he's, a reputable designer, Algernon Johnson. He used to make clothes for people, in the neighborhood and stuff, and in churches and stuff for the events and stuff. So I would say, you know what? I'm going to get Al to make this for me one day. So it was kind of just like a fantasy, maybe like one day clothes are gonna fit me right, like that sort of thing, because I just didn't have very many options. So like I said, at some point it was like a thing where I needed some work, and I just went up to someone and said, hey, I'm a stylist. I really wasn't a stylist yet.
Oh. And
that happened probably about 14 years ago now.
14?
15. No. 14, sorry.
Wow, 14 years, that's a long time.
Yes, yeah.
That's a long time to be hustling, all right. Well, we admire her, and her skin is so flawless.
Thank you.
You got some flawless
so
skin.
oily.
I'm sorry, I just had
Thank
to say that.
Thank you.
Okay, now I noticed that your birth name is Thomasina. Mm-hmm. Where did Goo come from?
Well, black people, we just give nicknames. Boo Boo, Chi Nay Nay, so mine's is GooGoo. It's not no real story behind it. I mean, I found out recently that GooGoo means precious gift in some Swahili language, but nobody knew that when they called me GooGoo how many years ago. It was just GooGoo because it felt right, and it stuck.
Spiritual, okay. All right, great, okay. So spring has just started. Are there any tips that you would say or give as far as what's in for the spring?
I feel like every time I ask this question about summer and spring, I feel like I give the same answer. But it's just time for our light colors. I mean, this is our first interview, so I haven't answered with you yet. But, I would say light colors, light fabrics, linen, our whites, our soft colors. I don't really play too much with trends, because you can kind of get stuck following rules and whatever.
Right.
I don't really subscribe to that rule thing. I just do what I want to do, Mm-hmm. But it is time for flowy things. It is time for, thinner materials and, silks. Even though polyesters and stuff are fun, they're not breathable materials. So you want to stick to the natural materials, like the linen and the silks.
Right. Okay.
Even cotton, because they're breathable fabrics.
All right. So, is there anything that has ever happened in fashion when you first started? And you was like, what was I thinking?
Oh, what happened?
That was not F God.
Oh, like every just shoot. I felt like every other gig, I was like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? You know, you have people, you work with people that steal, you work with people that lose garments, you work with designers that say they're going to have something for you, and you kind of keep going down to the end of the wire. And at the end of the wire, while you're at the BET Awards and your client is waiting to get dressed, they stop answering your calls, and you have to tell your very difficult client that she has to wear a Plan B dress. She wasn't even 100% sold on the Plan A dress, because that's just kind of her personality. And so, you know, you're like sitting on set live and in real time having to deal with this. You know, I remember I didn't even style my client at this particular time, and someone reached out to me from like another country and was just going off on me saying I mimicked his style. It was just so nasty. It was just, I was like, first of all, I don't know you. I don't know, this is your style, and I didn't style this. And so take all of that energy and give it to someone else. You know, bottle it back up and make sure you give it to the proper person, because I didn't style this. But, you know, you get sued and stuff for stuff that's like ridiculous. I got sued because I gave she was a designer, but in this particular instance, she was acting as a seamstress, because I told her the shape dress I wanted. I told her the style, the length, the measurements, the flare here, sweetheart here, fit it here, pinch a little more, you know, that whole sort of thing. And then she sued me because I said I was a co-designer, and I'm like, I was more of a designer than you. But these are just some of the things where it's just like, what did I get myself into? And then, you know, sometimes when you're given budgets, you know, all in budgets, you'll have people that'll say, okay, I need one more thing. And then you go home and you're like, oh, I made $18, because all of the little one more things, you know, kept adding up, and they thought it was little, and it wasn't necessarily little when it's 3,000 of them little things. And you know, you eat up your budget, and before you know it, you don't work 4 days, and you ain't really got paid what you were supposed to, nowhere near what you were supposed to get paid, because again, sometimes because we're dealing with money and people. I remember someone said, can you bring us some legit receipts? And I was like, just because I didn't go to, you know, the name brand stores, department stores, I went to, like, you know, my little boutiques and stuff. Yeah, so it was just kind of be, you know, how they added up on the little number machine, and you know, and the card stapled to it. I'm thinking, call a store if you know what I'm saying. If you think
exactly.
But it's just so many things where it's just like, you're calling me a thief? Like, you know what I mean? Where you were paused, it's like, I've never been called a thief. Let me go back to my job. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
exactly.
So yeah, those are just a few of the things that happen where you say, what have I gotten myself into?
You imagine, keep that smile.
I do, because I was telling one of my interns today, I was telling her, I said, you know, the angry thing and getting mad and holding on to that, I don't benefit from that.
True.
And so if I get frustrated with somebody else who is like, let's say, compromising or kind of messing up, or you know what I mean, slowing down the process, then I'm definitely not going to slow down my self-sabotage. Like, I'm not going to slow down my own process by giving energy to being mad. Like, it is what it is, it's happened, move on. Like, people like to sit there and replay it, but what are you getting? What happened? What do you win? You know what I mean? What's the end game? You got to be mad? I don't need that.
Exactly.
So she said today, she said, you seem to handle stuff really well. I said, because I'm big on being productive, and being mad is not productive.
Right. And I was listening to you earlier today in the panel. You were saying you have to have tough skin.
Yeah.
So that was very helpful. I saw a lot of people soak that up when you said that. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone that you just dream of just styling, that you've never styled in your life, that this is the dream person to style?
Can I be honest? If I didn't style anybody else, I'd be all right. I'm kind of transitioning, and so so I'm ready to move to the next thing. And not that I don't like styling, because I'm creating a team. Even with this, you know, I do a 2-hour fitting, but they're doing the leg work and you know what I'm saying, they're doing a lot of that. So I can kind of still give the information and be there for my clients, but it doesn't consume me. Like it did before. And so I'm able to build my brand that way. I'm able to give other people opportunities, and I'm able to take care of my clients. So no, and I know some people say like, oh, I want to style, GooGoo, and I'm like, but I'm already styled. You get what I'm saying? Why don't you just style your neighbor Karen and make her look so good that people want to be down with you and Karen and know what you got going on? But people love to go for the names. You know what I mean? Like there are people whose style I think is incredible, and I appreciate, super artistic and edgy and whatever. But do I need to style them? No, we can actually just go shopping together or talk fashion together, and I'll get off by that. So I don't need to, style, Rihanna to feel whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I can style Keisha and be just as happy if I make her look fabulous. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Wow. Words live by. Now, I read where you've studied acting with Wendy Raquel Robinson, and you also sing. So is there anything that we need to be on the lookout for? Anything coming up?
Yes, I was in a movie called, my second movie, or was it the third? It was called In the Spotlight. It was a short film that I did. And so they're going to be showing it at film festivals this year, so I'm super excited about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Last year I was nominated for Best Actress. I cannot remember the film festival. This is so not good. But in another movie I was in called Emergency Contact, and I was working on a web series called The Secret Closet. This is really bad that I had a small role in the film this past summer and do not remember the name of it. I'm sleepy. I had a long day, but I don't remember the name of it. I'm not even going to talk about it because if I talk about it, I don't want them to be like, she's disrespectful. Right. So I'm not going to give no details because I don't want y'all to find out which movie
Charge
it was.
to the head, not the heart.
Yes, and I don't want y'all to know. But yeah, so I've been acting and doing that sort of thing.
Okay. So is this something that we're going to see more of?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Now what about the singing?
No,
I saw on YouTube and they said you tore it up.
Whoever said that was probably just putting extras on it. I've never really had a desire to be a singer. Like that's my sister's thing. I never, even when I did it, people like to sit in the studio all day. I'm like, y'all want to go home? Like I'm ready to go home. I just, I'm not one of them people that my music got to be playing at all times, or I listen to music when I work out, and maybe if I take a road trip or something. But even then, I don't listen to it so much. But I'm just not in love with music. I like it, and I'm grateful that I had the job, and I'm gifted in that area, and I was able to work professionally in that capacity. But I would rather save that space for somebody who really wants to be a singer, someone who's sitting there, practicing and sharpening their craft, and getting better, and wanting that. Like I don't want to steal a position just because I'm Mary's sister and I can, or because I got access to, friends that Sean Daniels, Warren Campbell. They'll probably, if I said I wanted to do it, they'll work with me because they're my people. But I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to steal that moment from someone who really does want to do it, because I don't need to be a celebrity. Like I don't need that. Like, and even with you make your money several, well, I'll make it the way I want to make it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to do it.
Right. Okay. Now, if you had to write a letter to love about fashion or about your life, what would you say?
Okay, so immediately when you said write a letter to love, I heard, God is love to me. So it's like I talk to God very regularly. So what do you want me to say to God? What did you ask me? What would I say? Yeah,
what would you say if you had to write a letter to love about your life, about your career?
You know what? I talk to God every day about my life and my career. And it's just, first thing is I'm very thankful for where I am. And it's so funny because you make your requests known to God, but it's like when I get in that zone of in the morning, my devotion and my worshiping time, I get so lost in the worship until sometimes I forget to say, oh yeah, God, I want that job. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But I do talk to God. He knows the desires of my heart, and I do say, I'm honest about where I am. But usually in my devotion time, talking to God, it is about just worshiping Him and thanking Him for all that He's done. But now, if you mean love in a sense of boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, romantic
in general.
Okay,
God is love, or
that's a me and God thing. Me and God, I feel like we speak regularly, and I don't really hold anything back. So there aren't things that I haven't said, and I let Him know I have things that I want and aspirations and those things, and I mention it. But for the most part, when I'm in that devotion time, I'm just like, give me more, God, give me more. You get what I'm saying? Like, give me more of you and more of your presence. You know what I mean? I don't have time to say, you know what, I need $5 more to take care of someone. So, and you know what, God, I saw these shoes I wanted. And you know what, God, I want, you know, I don't really be having time for that, but there are times throughout the day where I'll say, oh Lord, I thank you for opportunities. So, you know what I mean? I thank you for lucrative contracts that are, you know, beneficial to me and it can help enhance my career. Every job I get, you know, I always go in and I ask God to lead and guide me and not to, the scripture that says, in all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. And yeah, I don't lean to my own understanding. Every time I start fresh, I'm like, Holy Spirit, show me how you want me to do this. Lead me, guide me. You know, like I'm your eyes, hands. You know what I'm saying? You've gifted me. You've given me this talent. I'm grateful for this opportunity, but I don't want to approach it as if I know what, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got this. You get what I mean? I want my mind and my heart to be open to fresh ideas.
Okay. That's good. So, this is a show called Nitara's Love Notes. And if you had to give any advice on love or relationships or, you know, what would you have to say to, or what kind of advice would you give?
Well, I don't know how valid my advice is because I'm still single, but I'm just going to say that, you know, be honest and let things happen organically. And, you know, don't let that prideful thing get in your head and say, I'm going to pick her because she's this on the list, that on the list, that on the list, and your heart is not in it. And don't pick somebody who your heart falls in love with, but they not nothing that you need that can add to your life. I think both should line up, and they will line up when that is the person for you. And let's just avoid unnecessary heartache. But I'm very into things happening organically. Even though I'm getting older, I don't have to rush things. It's going to happen. You know, I don't have to settle. I don't feel like people be embarrassed, and so they just get with anybody. Nope, I still want the whole knight shining armor deal. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know people get a little older, it's like, just give me any old husband. Don't, I want any old husband. I want someone that's incredible. You know what I'm saying? I'll just wait. You know, but it's just like people, people kind of settle and stuff, or they start feeling like I'm getting over and have some babies, or oh, I just want to be married. You know what I mean? But it's like sometimes when you have that itch like that, it's something else inside you. Because a lot of times those same people said, if I got this job, everything will be okay. If I lost this weight, I'll be happy. If I move to this city, I'll be happy. If I made this amount of money, I'll be happy. And you still are itchy. You're not just content. You're not at peace. And so you're already going into it with the expectation that this person is going to make you happy and fulfill you in ways that really only God can fulfill. So I think you should be at a place of inner peace and be honest with where you are. Like, just let it happen organically. You don't have to. A lot of women are manipulative, like manipulating stuff and, you know, trying to get in someone's way and then their path in order to get attention, and or you know, overly calling people, or oops, I accidentally text you. I don't do none of that. Child, if you like me, like me. If not, you're bad.
Right. Okay, now,
or getting pregnant and be like, ooh,
don't do that.
You know,
Please don't do that.
We should just get married.
So, you spoke on weight loss. How did you lose so much weight?
I lose so much weight.
You look amazing.
I lost probably about 40 pounds. Yeah, but I don't know why. I think people feel like it's like 100. The way they respond. I thought
you lost about 100.
No.
About 100.
Oh gosh, no.
You're just everything is just looking.
I was never 300 pounds. But I work out. I work out 5 to 6 days a week. Much healthier. It's so funny when people say, what's your secret? There's no secret. You know what I mean? It's like either you go get surgery or you do the work. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have surgery. You know, maybe at the end of my journey I might cut off a little skin, or I don't know, but I just do the work. There's no secret. You know, and I look on pictures and see flaws, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? But and I'm just working towards my goal. And I've actually been working out for 3 years. So for whatever reason, it seems like overnight to people, but it's going on 4 years. When my dad died, that's when I just dove into working out, because it gave me, I don't know, just some peace or something. I don't know how to describe it. It just gave me a sense of peace, and I've been going ever since. And I'm addicted to that feeling of doing better, and being my best self, and being disciplined. And if I say I want it, act like I want it, and go get it. And so that's my approach. People could follow me around. Ain't no magic pill and all that type of stuff. You just got to do the work, or have surgery.
So are you working with a trainer?
I was working with a trainer. I was working with a trainer called Tony Almond. Then I was working with a very popular trainer called Anawa. And yeah, between those two, they really, really, and that will really kicked it into gear. But after that, you know, after that for a certain amount of time, you know, I'm self-motivated. So I call her sometimes and she still gives me tips and advice, or she'll do a Skype session with me. But I'm self-motivated. I don't do 30-day challenges and things like that, because I've never seen people do those challenges and keep the weight off. Now, if they're one of those people that were already on a journey, yeah, but those people that think in 90 days, I'm gonna be, you know, whatever. I just think that if you create a scenario where it's so hard for you to maintain, and you're like dying to get to those 90 days, once you're out of those 90, you're never gonna go back to that, because that was a punishment. So I like to just create a healthier lifestyle that I can live by. So I eat healthy throughout the week, and I work out 6 days a week.
So
just
are
jogging
you
on
eating
Sundays.
just like a vegetarian diet?
I eat
or-
regular food. I just don't eat too much. Like, I don't eat crazy. Like, naturally I don't do juices or sodas or anything, so that was never a problem.
Okay.
You know, pretty much no fast food. I cook a lot, and I'll grab food somewhere. I still eat fried foods. I still eat French fries. I just don't, you know, I don't have 4 wings, you know, for the French fries and the soda. You get what I'm saying? I may have 2 wings and a salad, or 2 wings and like maybe a handful of fries, but you know what I'm saying? I drink lots of water, eat lots of vegetables. If you eating your 5 a day, you're going to kind of stay too full to go too crazy, you know, in the bad food side. But during the week, I eat strict. Okay. And then on the weekends, I'm a little more relaxed. Like, I'll have maybe, you know, Saturday if I have a baby shower or something, I'll just kind of be, you know, have a little Herbalife shake 2 or 3 times. And then when I get to the shower, then I can eat and act like a normal person. And I say, give me 1 potato chip. No, give me a handful. I want a handful of that. You know, because I ate good this morning and I worked out. So, and the weight may be getting off slower, but I'm enjoying life. I feel good, and working out, and my health, it's not a punishment. Because if you create a punishment, no one, like, my career is too demanding. So I can't have a punishing diet. Like, my life can't be a punishment. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
So I think people look at losing weight and dieting like they just want to lose weight so fast. But, you know, if you do that, you're going to lose the weight. But it's going to come back because you haven't created good habits. You haven't made it a lifestyle. So you're going to go right on back to your old ways and be right on back fat again.
You see the fat again? Okay, well, and my final question, what is it that you would want to leave for the world to know about Miss Goo Atkins? You are inspiration to women.
Thank you.
I mean, I just truly admire you. You are inspiration.
Thank you.
What final word would you have to say to the world that you want them to know about Miss Goo Atkins?
You know what? I'll just say my favorite quote, which is, love the light in you, and love the light in you, and not your name in lights. I don't have to be a star. I don't have to be Miss Popular. I don't have to be better than anybody else or any of that. I just have to be grateful for the light that's inside of me. Let that shine. Let God get the glory. Be grateful. And just let that be that. You know what I'm saying? Just be grateful that there is light in you. Like, be grateful for that. And just love that. Don't love lights, camera, action, because that's just like smoke and mirrors. That's not, it's not anything. You know what I mean? There's no substance to it. It won't hug you. It won't, you get what I mean? Like, just to be popping. Like, what is that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Popping is being a good friend. Popping is being loyal. Popping is being a hard worker. Popping is helping people. You know what I'm saying? That's popping to me. So that ain't got nothing to do with love the light in yourself. So I done lost my way. But anyway, love the light in you, and not necessarily your name in lights. Yeah, I get, you know, when I start talking, it just, listen, I'll talk about trains in about 30 seconds.
That was good. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And we are in love with Miss Goo Atkins.
Thank you.
And you've just tuned yourself into another episode of Nitara's Love Notes. I know I probably said that funny, but okay. Thank you again. Thank you, Miss Atkins.
You're welcome.